you're changing your oil on time, every 5,000 miles, and your engine is still dying inside. Most drivers do the oil change half right and completely skip the half that actually matters. Not because they're lazy, because nobody taught them. Today, I'm walking you through 13 technical points, 3 phases, and 1 complete system. The one that keeps engines running past 400,000 miles. Subscribe now, and let's get to work. Quick disclaimer before we start, the tips and guides in this video are for educational purposes only. Every vehicle is different, so please use this information at your own risk. We are not responsible for any damage or injury that may occur. When in doubt, always consult a professional mechanic. Everything starts before you ever touch a wrench. 3 decisions at the parts store determine whether this oil change actually protects your engine or just makes you feel like it did. See this sticker? This is not engineering advice. This is a marketing tool. The 3,000-mile oil change interval was pushed by oil companies and quick lube chains starting in the 1970s. It had nothing to do with engine science. Modern full synthetic oil is rated for 7,500 to 10,000 miles under normal driving conditions. Some formulations carry you to 15,000. So how do you find your correct interval? 3 inputs. First, your owner's manual. The OEM specification is the engineering baseline. That number was set by the people who built the engine. Second, your driving classification. Mostly highway miles? Use the normal interval. Short trips under 10 miles? Heavy stop and go, towing, or extreme heat? That's severe duty. Cut your interval by 30 to 40%. Third, your oil type. Conventional tops out at 5,000 miles. Full synthetic starts at 7,500 to 10,000. And if your car has an oil life monitor, use it. It is not a mileage counter. It is a real-time sensor tracking engine temperature, load cycles, and driving patterns. It is more accurate than any sticker on your windshield. Now you know your interval. But most people grab a bottle of oil, C5W30, and toss it in the cart. That is a mistake. The viscosity grade is only half of what you need to match. The other half is the API and ILSAC certification. The current standard is API SP and ILSAC GF6A. If the bottle does not show that on the label, you are running behind spec oil in an engine designed for the current formulation. Then, on top of that, you need to check for OEM-specific approvals. GM turbocharged engines require Dexos 1 Gen 3. Not Gen 2, Gen 3. Running the wrong Dexos spec on a direct injection GM turbo allows carbon to build on intake valves within 40,000 to 60,000 miles. That is a $300 to $500 intake cleaning that never should have happened. Mercedes-Benz requires MB approval 229.5 or higher. Volkswagen and Audi specify VW50200 or 50400. Porsche requires Porsche A40. And if your engine has a turbocharger, skip the generic house brand. Turbo bearings spin at up to 200,000 revolutions per minute. The oil film between that shaft and the bearing housing is measured in microns. The wrong additive package destroys that film. So 3 things to verify on every bottle: viscosity grade, API, and ILSAC certification, and any OEM approval code. Both the weight and the certification have to match. You have got the right oil with the right spec. But now, here is where a lot of people throw all of that away. A $3 filter and a $12 filter look identical on the outside. Cut them open, and it is a completely different story. Budget filters use thin, low-density media with weak bypass valves and poor anti-drainback protection. Under sustained operating temperature, that media can collapse. When it does, the bypass valve opens and 100% of your oil circulates unfiltered. You bought the right oil, the right spec, and a cheap filter sends raw, dirty oil straight to your bearings. Economy filters in the $3 to $5 range are acceptable only for older, low-demand engines on short, conventional oil intervals. Never on a turbo. Never on a GDI engine. Premium filters from $8 to $12 like Wix, Bosch, Mobil 1, or Royal Purple are the correct choice for most modern vehicles. OEM filters from $12 to $20 are required for turbocharged applications, high-performance engines, and anything over 100,000 miles. One rule: Never run an economy filter on a turbocharged engine. The $5 you save can cost you $5,000. Right oil, right filter. Now the next 5 steps determine whether any of that matters. And these are the steps most shops skip because doing them correctly takes time they are not willing to spend. Never drain cold oil. At 40 degrees Fahrenheit, oil behaves like syrup. Degraded additives and metallic particles settle and cling to the pan walls. Drain cold and up to half a quart of contaminated residue stays behind. Your fresh oil goes in on top of it. Contaminated from mile zero. A warm drain removes 90 to 95% of old oil and contaminants. A cold drain gets you maybe 60 to 70%. Drive 10 minutes, highway preferred, shut off, wait 2 to 3 minutes for safety, then drain. 10 extra minutes before every oil change. Do it without exception. That old oil is the most accurate snapshot of what is happening inside your engine. Color tells you a lot. Black and slightly thick is normal oxidation. Gray or milky means coolant contamination. That is head gasket territory. Do not drive another mile until it is diagnosed. Metallic particles, shiny flat flakes at the bottom of the pan, mean bearing wear or piston scuffing. Caught early, it is manageable. Ignored, it becomes a seized engine. Install a magnetic drain plug for $15 to $20. It threads in where your stock plug sits and captures ferrous particles every drive cycle. Clean magnet means you are good. Loaded magnet means something internal is failing and you caught it early. The crush washer under your drain plug deforms to create a seal. Reuse it and you are gambling on a slow, invisible seep. A quart low in 500 miles. Bearings running at the edge of lubrication, starvation, and you have no warning. New crush washers cost $1 to $3. Buy a 10-pack. Most drain plugs torque to 25 to 30 foot-pounds. Oil filter gets hand-tight plus a quarter turn. A stripped oil pan repair runs $500 to $800. A torque wrench costs $20. The moment you start the engine after an oil change, the oil pump has to fill the empty filter housing before oil reaches the bearings. That takes 3 to 5 seconds. On a turbocharged engine, that is 3 to 5 seconds of metal-on-metal contact with zero oil film. Before threading on the new filter, fill it 50 to 70% with fresh oil. For cartridge-style filters, coat the rubber gasket with a light film of oil. This gets oil pressure to critical components within 1 second of startup instead of 5. Standard practice in professional race engine builds. Takes 30 seconds. If the oil level sits above the max mark, the crankshaft counterweights physically contact the oil at high speed and whip it into foam. Aerated oil loses 30 to 40% of its lubrication strength. Oil pressure drops. Seals blow. VVT solenoids and hydraulic lifters can fail. Target the middle of the safe range on the dipstick. Not the max line, the middle. Add your specified quantity minus half a quart, wait 3 minutes, check, and add in quarter quart increments to midpoint. Everything is installed. Oil is at the right level. But the job is not done. This phase either locks everything in or quietly undoes it. Start the engine. Do not touch the throttle. Watch the oil pressure warning light. It should go out within 3 to 5 seconds. If it stays on past 5 seconds, shut off the engine immediately. That means an airlock, a seating issue, or insufficient oil level. Find it before running the engine again. Light goes out normally, idle 30 to 60 seconds, then drive gently for 5 minutes. After that first drive, park, wait 2 minutes, and check 2 spots. The drain plug perimeter for any seepage, and the base of the oil filter for dripping. The most common DIY mistake is leaving the old filter gasket stuck to the housing. A double gasket situation will blow the seal at highway speed. Check the dipstick one final time. Any seepage found gets fixed before you drive further. Modern oil life systems track engine temperature, load data, and trip duration to calculate real-time oil degradation. Skip the reset and the system keeps counting from the old baseline. giving you completely wrong service reminders. Every platform has a different reset method, so check your owner's manual. After reset, confirm the monitor reads 100% before driving away. If it did not confirm, it did not work. Every vehicle that crosses 400,000 miles has one thing in common: documented maintenance history. Record 5 things after every oil change: date, odometer, oil brand and spec, filter brand, drain pan observations. Track those drain pan notes across multiple changes, and you are doing predictive maintenance instead of reactive maintenance. Now, here is the one that multiplies or cancels everything else in this video. I saved it for last on purpose. The PCV valve stands for Positive Crankcase Ventilation. It is the size of your thumb and costs $10 to $15. Every combustion cycle, hot gases called blow-by push past the piston rings into the crankcase, carrying unburned fuel, moisture, and acids. The PCV valve routes those gases back through the intake manifold to be reburned. That is pressure regulation and contamination control in one part. When it clogs, crankcase pressure builds and pushes against every oil seal in the engine. Valve cover gaskets, cam seals, rear main seal, they start weeping. Meanwhile, the acids and moisture stay trapped in the oil and eat the additive package 30 to 40% faster. Your correctly spec'd oil in your correctly matched filter at your correctly calculated interval is breaking down ahead of schedule. Testing it takes 10 seconds. Find it on or near the valve cover, connected by a hose to the intake manifold. Pull it out and shake it. A good one rattles because the internal check valve moves freely. No rattle means it is stuck. Replace it. Service interval is every 30,000 to 50,000 miles. Honda, Ford, GM, and Toyota all list it in their official maintenance schedules. Most shops never check it unless you ask. A healthy PCV valve makes every step in this video work at full capacity. A clogged one makes all of it partially ineffective. $12. Check it at every other oil change. Now you have the complete system. 3 phases, 13 points. The oil change most drivers have been doing is half right, and now you know exactly which half was missing. But here is something that ties all of this together. Even with every step done correctly, your engine sends 5 specific warning signs on every drive that tell you something is about to fail before it becomes a $5,000 repair, and most drivers miss all 5. I made a full video breaking down exactly what to listen for, what to feel, and what each signal means before it turns catastrophic. It is called Here's Why Your Regular Oil Changes Are Silently Destroying Your Engine, and it is on your screen right now. Watch it next. Your engine might already be telling you something. At Car Care Simplified, we do not just tell you what to fix. We tell you why it breaks and exactly how to stop it. Every script, edit, and voiceover on this channel is crafted with real human expertise, not mass-produced content. If this helped you, subscribe for more.